First time I started a fire that got me in trouble, I took my friend Jimmy out when I was about 8 years old. He was about 7. And we started a fire out there in a little ditch in the prairie in South Dakota. And we just wanted to start a little campfire, but it got out of hand and it burned down, oh, I don't know, 5 or 10 acres of prairie land. The fire trucks from Pure, South Dakota and from the airport out there had to come out, and they put out that fire. And I did get in trouble for that, but that was my first experience with fire. And I think I've always, not always, I've had a tendency to want to learn how to control fire and start fires, and you know, like Boy Scouts and things like that. And when I had Cub Scouts, I was teaching them how to use you know, to use sparks to create a fire under controlled conditions. Yeah, it was always fun.
Yeah, I'm 7 years old here, and I know I look pretty innocent, and I guess I probably was pretty innocent as a kid. But I took some matches and my best friend, and I was 7, he was 6. We went out onto the South Dakota prairie, and that prairie grass was tall, and it was very dry, and we wanted to start a little campfire, and this is my story. So I'm going to tell this story by a poem that I wrote about it. It's called The Match. It was just a little match with a tiny little flame that mesmerized 2 little boys in a thoughtless little game. Crouched in a barren ditch, much hidden to the view of parents, friends, and neighbors, the secret no one knew. Long in golden grass and delight a campfire grew, until the reaching flames did the overhang imbue, with strength and speed and energy exploding all anew. In panic did the stomping boys race the spreading fire? No, the wind is fanning flames, the situation dire. That friendly little flame has into a monster grown, as frightened little boys in desperation race toward home. Pounding hearts and crushing fear, I know I've lost my soul. Great black clouds reach to the sky, and many now will know. Fire engines, red flashing lights, and men scurry all about. We must save this building, went up a cry and shout, and thankfully they finally did as they put the fire out. 1 week gone by, I'm still alive, and then those words I hear. My knees feel weak, my heart is faint, then comes that awful fear. Mr. Jacob saw you with binoculars that day. We know 'twas you, she shouted as she smugly drove away. My parents do not know, so I must courage take. Best comes from me, the neighbors, yes, better for my sake. It was just a little match, that little flame, just a little tiny match, and a tiny little flame. Some lessons cannot come in any other way. Thank you, Lord, for life so dear, I get to live another day.
I ran across some materials in the woods today, natural materials, that will help me make a fire starter that can be started with just a tiny spark if you're out in the woods and need a fire. This is what I need, this kind of wood. Dried out and rotten and kind of like balsa wood. It's kind of crumbly. That's what I want. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to take our spongy wood and we want to crumble it up and put it in a tin can. A tuna can will work. And there it is. Put the lid back on. Punch a hole in it with an ice pick. We're going to put it in a fire and we're going to cook it. That hole allows the air to leave, and it burns the wood without it being able to actually ignite because it doesn't have enough air. And what it's going to do, it's going to create this charcoal type stuff, so that when we put a spark to it, then we'll be able to ignite a material that we can put into our fire, and I'll show you how that works. I went to the back of my property where I have some cedar trees, and I pulled some of that soft wood off of it, the bark, crumpled it up really good, made it so that it's very dry, and it ought to start, if it can get a spark to it, it ought to start. I call this my spark box because it has material that will take a spark real well, and once that spark gets started there, I can go ahead and then put this tinder on it, and then I can put the tinder in a stove. Okay, so you've probably seen these before, where you can strike a spark into into whatever material. And we try to get a fire going here. Now we just close our tin and it'll put out the embers there until we use it next time. Okay, this has got to go into the hot flame. And leave it there. Now what'll happen is eventually we'll see smoke start coming out of that hole, and it'll be white smoke. And when that white smoke stops coming out, then we know it's done and we can remove it from the flame. Okay, hopefully you can see that white smoke coming out of the top of the can. Doing very well, and when that stops, then we'll know it's done. Okay, let's see how we did charring our wood. So this is charwood. And this stuff is ready to take a spark. So now when I go in the woods, all I have to do is be able to put a spark to this and start a fire. So once I clean all the charcoal off of the can, a dirty job, then it's ready to go for the next time I want to make some more char cloth or char wood, and my new box is ready to go. Ready to go. All I need to do is take this and some method or means of creating a spark. You know, sometimes it's just fun to play around, get your hands dirty.